Okay, turning now to an update on our big story from last night on a drop-in center for homeless people in North Portland's St. John's neighborhood that opened in July off Lombard Street. Since then, some nearby business owners tell us it has negatively impacted the neighborhood. There's now a community petition to remove the center.
We have a couple people who we also know they eventually get naked and start running around. They yell at customers, they steal things off their tables.
The numbers continue to go down. As of right now, I don't think it's going to make it.
We sort of feel like a lot of times the city is using this as kind of a dumping ground for their problems that they don't want to deal with elsewhere.
So today, Multnomah County Commissioner Shannon Singleton is proposing some changes to the drop-in site. Commissioner Singleton represents District 2, which covers St. John's. Last month, she asked County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson to put a pause on the program. Well, that didn't happen, but we are told the chair asked the Homeless Services Department to address community concerns. Commissioner Singleton said in her newsletter, in part, "While I do not agree that the space should be permanently closed, there needs to be greater urgency in addressing the impacts to the neighborhood." Okay, so here's some of what she's proposing. Daily updates on how the center is going, asking Portland Police and Portland Street Response for faster response times and better communication between the county and the neighborhood. Now, we're told private security is patrolling the center overnight, discouraging people from setting up camp and other illegal behavior. The county also plans to increase exterior lighting and add security cameras at the center. There are also talks of removing a TriMet bus stop that's right outside the building. But back in July, county leadership pointed to that bus stop as a key factor in choosing that location for the drop-in center. And while this is a county-run program, it's also noteworthy that Commissioner Singleton says Portland Mayor Keith Wilson directed his team to no longer enter a good neighbor agreement with the St. John's neighborhood. So that means the city won't be tied to any agreement with the community concerning the center. Now, a spokesperson for the mayor's office tells us tonight, in part, while the city of Portland is not a party to the Good Neighbor Agreement negotiations between the Multnomah County and the St. John's community, we urge Multnomah County to codify and live up to their commitment to maintaining safety and livability in and around the facility. Well, after our story aired last night, many of you had thoughts. Matt wrote into us saying, "I'm amazed that the city or county thinks it will work to have homeless facilities mixed in a business district or where there are homes. Isn't this a bit of a red flag? Why do this and ruin the business district? Isn't this seen as a real possibility? It makes no sense." A Portland business on Instagram commented, "It hasn't become harder. We are all under attack daily and hourly and are losing business, customers, and even employees because of it." A viewer on YouTube said, "Perhaps foot patrols in this area by law enforcement would help." Another YouTube viewer added, "Provide security at the shelters, enforce the rules, or out they go." But then there are comments like this next one. It also comes from a YouTube viewer who says, "I live in the neighborhood, I work in the neighborhood. The people running the facility come to our shop. The people living in the facility come to our shop. 95% of them are polite, kind, and just down on their luck."